Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Stand up and Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Gaurashakti Prabhu, can you chant the Mangacharam prayers?
Yes, in 1 minute.
Yes, Prabhu. Haribol.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyan Chiminandasya Gananjana Shalakayam Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayarupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadamtikam Andeham Shiguro Shiuta Padakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavam Shilupam Sagajatam Saganalagunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shilada Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Lada Kanta Namustute Apta Kanchana Gorangira Devrinda Banishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Goravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachari Shatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Antara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Hare Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare Bol.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
You're welcome.
You want to read this prayer also?
Oh, I let others.
Yes, Prabhu.
Third part.
Who wants to recite the prayers?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayapati Mulatam Sukata Krishna Punya Shri Kirtanash Vittantastava Patrani Vidunate Sudatsukam Yatpika Shokatra Shunattam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatirtam Shloke Bhakti Shri. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of quiet passion and show of respectful obeisances unto the personality of God, Narayan, and to Narayan, the Shree Supreme Human Being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of love, and to Srila Bhasti, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of God, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefit of the rich for devotees, and just desire from the living from the heart. The devotee Christ type of the urge to wear his messages, which are in themselves virtues and properly heard. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and reading, and therein doing service, the devotee all that is produced into the heart is almost completely spread in loving service of the personality of God, whose spiritual concept and songs is established with an irrevocable fact.
Haribol, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. You want to read the first part? Oh, what a chapter. Really nice chapter. Hare Krishna, Praveen, Prabhupada, Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Rishikesh Prabhu, please, you can start.
Chapter 13. Prabhupada the appearance of Lord Varaha. Next one. Shri Shukovacha Nishamyavacham Vadato Muni Munasa Punyatya Nirta Bhuya Papracha Kauravya Vasudeva Katatrita. Synonyms. Shri Shukovacha Shri Shukdev Goswami said, Nishamya, after giving Vachan talks Vadata while speaking Muni of Mantri Muni Punyatyanam, the most virtuous therefore, O king, Goya, venerable Papracha, inspired Kauravya, the best amongst the Kurus, Vidura, Vasudeva Katha, topics of the subject of the personality of Lord Vasudeva. Katrita, one who saw this translation for translation was the essentially for part region.
Jai.
Translation. Reflected Goswami said, okay, after giving all these most virtuous topics of this church, translate by clear, Vidura inquired further on the topics of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear. Purport. The word Advaita is significant because it indicates that Vidura had a natural inclination for giving the transcendental message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was never fully satisfied to continue to hear those topics. He wanted to hear more and more so that he could be more and more blessed for the transcendental message. Next time, Vidura Uvacha Savai Swayam Bhuva with Sanpit Priyaputra Swayam Bhuva Vittalaභ्य पत्नीं किंचक्र ततोऽन्यं विधिवाच्य विधिवशैः स्वयंभुव स्वयंभुवं स्मृत स्मृत the king of all the kings Priyaputra son Swayambhuva of Brahma Pratilabhya after obtaining Priya most loving Patni wife Kim Lord Chakra did Tata thereafter in a great sage translation. Vidura said, O great sage, what did Swayambhu the dear son of Brahma do after obtaining his very loving wife? Text 3. Charitam tasya rajay adhirajasya sattama Rupine Shattadhanaya Vishvakse Vishvakshenashya Asu Charitam character Tasya is Rajyakshi of the saintly king Adhirajasya of the original king Sattama, the most wise one to be kindly speak me and me unto me Sattadhanya until one eager to receive Vishvaksena of the personality of God Ashwin. For one who has taken something to certainly asserted translation. O best of the virtuous deity in the phenomenon. Was the great devotee of the personality of Godhead Hari, and thus it is was the hearing of his sublime character and activities based describe them. I am very eager to hear them. O God. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is full of the transcendental perfects of the personality of God and his pure devotees. In the absolute one, there is no difference in the quality between the supreme Lord and the pure devotee. Therefore, hearing the topics of the Lord, including of the character and activities of the pure devotee, have the same result, namely the development of devotional service. Text 4. Utasya pumsan shuchirashramasya namya antasasrati yati dorita tattat punam pavanam mukunda pavitaravindam yateshuyam. Because persons who are in the process of hearing pumsan of such persons suchira of Paramanasya, delivering very hard minds of deep and jasa, elaborate philosophy, but should be practically what is etita, explained by Arthat statements that guna transcendental qualities of natural and thinking Kunda, the personality of God over words liberation for the Paravindam, the spiritual creation within the creation of the translation. Persons who engage in hearing from the spiritual translation, persons who engage in hearing from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the master of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees always thinks within their heart of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, who awards liberation to his devotees. Upatas and their students are those who undergo great penance and being trained by hearing the Vedas from benefits of Jana. We must hear about the activities of the Lord, but we must also hear about the person and the qualities of the devotees constantly. It is to improve thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord within the heart. The pure devotee of the Lord cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the Lord, even for a moment, and every breath of the Lord. He is always within the hearts of all living creatures, but they hardly know about it because they are deluded by the illusory energy. The devotees, however, realize the presence of the Lord, and therefore they can always see the lotus feet of the Lord within and the feet of the Lord within their hearts. Such pure devotees of the Lord are as devotees as the Lord. They are in fact recommended by the Lord, more worshipable than He himself. Worship of the devotees is represent the worship of the Lord. It is therefore the duty of the transcendental students to hear of pure devotees, as explained by similar devotees of the Lord, because one cannot explain about the Lord or his devotee unless he happens to be pure devotee himself. Next by Sri Shukar Uvacha, Sri Roganam Vidhuram Vinitam Sahasra Shirnas Charanopadanam PravritsaromaBhagavatakatayam Praniyamano Munilpi Yachasta Sri Shukavacha Sri Shukdev Goswami said iti thus Bhuvana speaking to the Vidura Vinitam very gentle Saraswati Shirshna the personality of God Krishna Charana lotus feet of Padhanam below Prakristaroma cares when ecstasy Bhagavad in relationship with the personality of God Kathayam in the verse Praniyamana being influenced by such spirit money the sage Abhiyat attempted to speak translation. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura, because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words, and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak. Purport. The word Sahasra Shri is very significant. The one who has diverse energies and activities and wonderful brain is known as Sahasra. This qualification is applicable only to the personality of God Shri Krishna and no one else. Personality of God was pleased to dance sometimes with Vidura at his home. And while resting, he placed his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura. Mithila was inspired by the thought of Vidura's wonderful fortune. The hairs of his body stood on end, and he was pleased to negate the topics of the personality of God with great delight. Text 6. Maitreya Vacha Yadasva Aryaya Shraddham Sartham Jata Swayam Bhuvamani Anvo Pranjali Prantastilam Vedo Garbhan Abhasata Maitreya Vacha Maitreya said, Yada when Swabharaya along with his wife Sharadam accompanied by Jatava appeared Swayambhuva Manu, the father of mankind. Anjali, with folded hands, Pranatava, the invocation sister, also belonged this Vedic Garbhan into the reservoir of Vedic wisdom. Abhasata, a translation. This three Maitreya was said to be given. After his appearance, Manu, the father of mankind, along with his wife, established the reservoir of Vedic wisdom. Brahma, with all his senses and folded hands. Text 7. त्वम् एकः सर्वभूतानां जन्मकृत्पितः पिता तथापि न जानान्ते शुश्रूषा केन वा भवेत् त्वं you एकः one सर्व all bhutanam all living entities janmakrit originator with the source of substance pita the father tatapi yet no not such prajanam of all who are born they of use to true service kena va either permit may be possible. Translation: You are the father of all living entities and the source of their substance, because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Purport: Atma's duty is not to make the father the source of supply for all his needs, but also when he is grown up to render service unto him. That is the law of creation, beginning from the time of Brahma. Father's duty is to bring up the son until he is grown, and when the son is grown up, it is it is his duty to be baptized. It is his duty to render service unto the father. Text 8. Tatvitri namastukyam karmasya ityatra tishu yatkritveha yaso vishvak amrita cha bhavet kati touch that vidyehi giving direction Namaha my obeisances Tubhyam unto you Karmasu intentions Vidya or worship Salman Atma Shaktishu within our working capacity yet which Kritva doing here in this world here Yasha Vishwa everywhere Amrita in the next world and Bhavet it should be Gati progress. Translation O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the education of people within our working capacity so that we all can follow it for pain in this life and progress in the next. Purport Brahma is the direct recipient of the Vedic knowledge and the personality of God. And anyone who is discerning is interested in this anticipate success, discipline succession from Brahma is sure to gain fame in this life and salvation in the next. The disciplic succession from Brahma is called the Brahma Sampradaya and it is descended as follows. Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhvamani, Purnapanchna, Padmanabha, Nirhari, Madhava, Akshobhya, Jayat, Tirtha, Jnanasindhu, दयानिधि विद्यानिधि राजेंद्र जय धर्म पुरुषोत्तम व्यास तीर्थ लक्ष्मीपति माधवेंद्रपुरी ईश्वरपुरी श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु श्री स्वरूप दामोदर and Sri Rupa Goswami and other Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaush Kishore Das Babaji, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami. This line of one of disciplic succession from Brahma is spiritual, whereas the genealogical succession from Manu is material, but both are on the progressing march towards the same goal of Krishna consciousness. So what is the meaning of that word genealogical?
What, Prabhu?
Genealogical. It is
It's by birth.
By birth. Okay. Text 1. Brahmavacha Purutas Rupyam Aham Tata Swasti Stat विमक्षित स्वर निर्यलिकेन हृदा साधि में आत्मनार्पितं ब्रह्म वाच ब्रह्म said, please to come unto you. I, Tata, my dear son Swasti, all blessings let there be young unto you both, Shiti Ishvara, O Lord of the world. Yet because Nirvya Vikena, without reservation, without by the hearts of the give instruction now unto me, Shiti thus Atmana myself become surrendered. Translation Lord Brahma said, my dear son, Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you, and I desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me, and your heart for my instructions purport the relationship between the father and the son is always sublime. The father is naturally disposed with good will towards the son, and he is always ready to help the son in his progress in life, but in spite of Prabhupada father's good will, the son is someone misguided because of the message of personal independence. Usually means to have a smaller will. He may be as the choice of independence if the son is anxious or would be willing to be guided by the father the same time for your self and guide him means the father initial relationship is exhibited during the defense of the man is excellent. Both the father and the son are well qualified, and their example should be followed by all humankind. Manu, the son, unreservedly asked the father Brahma to instruct him, and the father, who was full of very wisdom, was very glad to instruct the example of the father of mankind, who is repeatedly followed by mankind, and that will advance the cause of relationship of fathers and sons. Okay,
Haribo.
Prabhu, begin your pathetic.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Tirash Prabhu Tandat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay, who wants to read next? Do we have any readers?
Hare Krishna. Can I read?
Hare
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, so Vishnu Prabhu can read next and Praveen Prabhu after.
Sure.
I just read five verses. Text 10. तावधि आत्मजैर्वीरा कार्या हि अभचितिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमथैर्गृह्यता सदारं गदा मत्सरे एतावधि just exactly like this. Atmajai, by the offspring, Veera, O hero, Karya should be performed. He certainly, Abhachiti, worship, Guru, unto the superior, Shaktya, with full capacity, Apramatte, by the sane, Grhyeda, should be accepted, Sadaram, with great delight, Gada Matsare, by those who are beyond the limit of envy. Translation. O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Purport. When the four previous sons of Brahma, the sages Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanandana, and Sanatkumara, refused to obey their father, Brahma was mortified, and his anger was manifested in the shape of Rudra. That incident was not forgotten by Brahma, and therefore the obedience of Manu Swayambhuva was very encouraging. From the material point of view, the four sages' disobedience to the order of their father was certainly abominable, but because such disobedience was for a higher purpose, they were free from the reaction of disobedience. Those who disobey their fathers on material grounds, however, are surely subjected to disciplinary reaction for such disobedience. Manu's obedience to his father on material grounds was certainly free from envy, and in the material world it is imperative for ordinary men to follow the example of Manu. Text 11. सत्वम् अस्याम् अपत्यानि सदृशानि आत्मनो गुणे उत्पाद्य शासधर्मेण गां यज्ञे purusham yaja. Sa, therefore, that obedient son, Tvam, as you are Asyam in her Abatyani children, Sadrishani equally qualified, Atmana of yourself, Gunai with the characteristics, Utpadya having begotten, Shasa rule, Dharmena on the principles of devotional service, Gam the world, Yatne by sacrifices, Purushan the supreme personality of Godhead, Yaja worship. Translation. Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principle of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of yajna. Purport. The purpose of the material creation by Brahma is clearly described herein. Every human being should beget nice children in the womb of his wife as a sacrifice for the purpose of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotional service. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated, Varnasramacharvata Purushena para puman Vishnur aradhyade panda nanyat tattosha karanam. One can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu by proper discharge of the principles of Varna and Asrama. There is no alternative to pacifying the Lord by execution of the principles of the Varnasrama system. Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. Vishnu worship is the ultimate aim of human life. Those who take the license of married life for sense enjoyment must also take the responsibility to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, and the first stepping stone is the Varnasrama Dharma system. Varnasrama Dharma is the systematic institution for advancing in worship of Vishnu. However, if one directly engages in the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it may not be necessary to undergo the disciplinary system of Varnasrama Dharma. The other sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, directly engaged in devotional service, and thus they had no need to execute the principles of Varnasrama Dharma. Text 12. Param Sushrushanam Mahyam Syat Praja Rakshaya Nrupa Bhagavam Ste Prajabarthur Hrishikesho Anutushyadi. Param, the greatest, Sushrushanam, devotional service, Mahyam, unto me, Syad, should be, Praja, the living entities who are born in the material world, Rakshaya, by saving them from being spoiled, Nrupa, O king, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Te, with you, Prajabarthu, with the protector of the living beings, Rishikesha, the lord of the senses, Anutushyadi, is satisfied. Translation. O king, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned soul, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. Purport. The whole administrative system is arranged for the purpose of going back home, back to Godhead. Brahma is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Manu is the representative of Brahma. Similarly, all other kings on different planets of the universe are representatives of Manu. The law book for the entire human society is the Manu Samhita, which directs all activities towards the transcendental service of the Lord. Every king, therefore, must know that his responsibility in administration is not merely to exact taxes from citizens, but to see personally that the citizens under him are being trained in Vishnu worship. Everyone must be educated in Vishnu worship and engaged in the devotional service of Rishikesha, the owner of the senses. The conditioned souls are meant not to satisfy their material senses, but to satisfy the senses of Rishikesha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the purpose of the complete administrative system. One who knows the secret, as disclosed, does not know this is a show bottle administrator. One who knows the secret, as disclosed here in the version of Brahma, is the perfect administrative head. One who does not know this is a show bottle administrator. By training the citizen in the devotional service of the Lord, the head of a state can be free in his responsibility. Otherwise, he will fail in the onerous duty entrusted to him and thus be punishable by the supreme authority. There is no other alternative in the discharge of administrative duty. Text 13. येषां न तुष्टो भगवान् यज्ञलिङ्गो जनार्दन तेषां श्रमो हि अपार्थया यद् आत्मा नादृत स्वयं. Yesham, of those with whom, na, never, tushta, satisfied, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Yajna-linga, the form of sacrifice, Janardana, Lord Krishna or the Vishnu Tattva, tesham of them shrama labor he certainly aparthaya without profit yet because atma the supreme soul na not adrida adrida respected swayam his own self. Translation: the supreme personality of Godhead Janardana Lord Krishna is the form to accept all results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interest. Purport: Brahma is deputed as the supreme head of universal affairs, and he in his turn deputes Manu and others as charged affairs of the material manifestation. But the whole show is for satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma knows how to satisfy the Lord, and similarly, persons engaged in line of Brahma's plan of activities also know how to satisfy the Lord. The Lord is satisfied by the process of devotional service, consisting of ninefold process of hearing, chanting, etc. It is in one's own self-interest to execute prescribed devotional service, and anyone who neglects this process neglects his own self-interest. Everyone wants to satisfy his sense, but above the sense is the mind. Above the mind is the intelligence. Above the intelligence is the individual self, and above the individual self there is the super self. Above even the super self, there is the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu Tattva. The primeval Lord and the cause of all causes is Sri Krishna. The complete process of perfectional service is to render service for the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of Lord Krishna, who is known as Janardana. Text 14. Manurvacha आदेशेऽहं भगवतो वर्तेयामीव सूदन स्थानं त्व इहानुजानीहि प्रजानां मम च प्रभो. Manu Uvacha, Sri Manu said, Adeshe, under the order, Aham, I, Bhagavata, of your powerful self, Varteya, shall stay, Amiva Sudana, O killer of all sins, Sthanam, the places, Tu, but Iha, in this world, Anujanihi, please let me know, Prajana, of the living entities born from me, Mama, my, Cha, also, Prabho, O Lord. Translation: Sri Manu said, O all-powerful Lord, O killer of all sins, I shall abide by your order. Now please let me know my place and that of the living entities born of me. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Vishnu Prabhu. Okay, who wants to be next?
Dheeraj Prabhu, do you want to read or shall I?
Yes, you continue, Prabhu.
Haribol.
Okay.
Okay, are you on computer? Can you scroll? Is
I
it
can
possible?
scroll, Prabhu. I can scroll.
No, thank you.
Text 15. One second, let me check whether it is going down or not. I'm not able to scroll down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Text 15. यदोकः सर्वभूतानां मही मग्न महाम्भसी यस्य उद्धरणे यत्नो देवदेव्या विधीयताम् synonyms yat because okaha the dwelling place sarva for all bhutanam living entities mahi the earth magna merged maha ambhasi in the great water yasyah of this uddharena in the lifting yatnaha attempt deva o master of the demigods devyah of this earth vidhiyatam let it be done. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O Master of the demigods, please attempt to lift the earth, which is merged in the great water, because it is the dwelling place for all the living entities. It can be done by your endeavor and by the mercy of the Lord. Purport: The great water mentioned in this connection is the Garbhodaka ocean, which fills half of the universe. Text 16. Maitreya uvacha parameshti tvapam madhye yatha sannamavekshya gam kathamenam samunyeshyam iti dadyau dhiya chiram. Synonyms. Maitreya uvacha. Sri Maitreya Muni said, Parameshti, Brahma, tu also, apam, the water, madhye, within, tatha, thus, sannam, situated, avekshya, seeing, gam, the earth, katham, how, enam, this, samunyeshye, I will lift, iti, thus, dadhyau, gave attention, dhiya, by intelligence, chiram, for a long time. Translation. Sri Maitreya said, thus, seeing the earth merged in the water, Brahma gave his attention for a long time to how it could be lifted. Purport. According to Jiva Goswami, the topic delineated here are of different millenniums. The present topics are of the Shvetavaraha millennium, and topics regarding the Chakshusha millennium will also be discussed in this chapter. Text 17. Srajito me kshitir varbhihi प्लाव्यमाना रसाम गता अथार्थ किम अनुष्ठेयम् अस्माभिः सर्गो योजितः यस्याहं हृदयाद् आसं स ईशो विदधातु मे. Synonyms. Srijataha, while engaged in creation, may, of me, Kshitihi, the earth, Varbhihi, by the water, Plavyamana, by inundated, Rasam, depth of water, Gata, gone down, Atha, thereafter, Atra, in this matter, Kim, what, Anushteyam, is right to be attempted, Asambihi, by us, Asmabhihi, by us, Sarga, creation, Jojiteihi, engaged in, Yasya, the one from whose, Aham, I, Hridayat, from the heart, Asam, born, Saha, he, Ishaha, the Lord, Vidadhatu, may direct, may unto me. Translation. Brahma thought, while I have been engaged in the process of creation, the earth has been inundated by a deluge and has gone down into the depths of the water. What can we do who are engaged in this matter of creation? It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us. Purport. The devotees of the Lord, who are all confidential servitors, are sometimes perplexed in the discharge of their respective duties, but they are never discouraged. They have full faith in the Lord, and He paves the way for the smooth progress of the devotee's duty. Next 18. इत्यभिधायतो नाशा विवरात् सहसानगः वराहतोको निरगाद् अंगुष्ट परिमाणकः. Synonyms. Iti, thus, avidhyayatah, while thinking, nasha vivarat, from the nostrils, sahasa, of all of a sudden, anagha, oh, sinless one, varaha tokaha, a minute form of varaha, a boar, niragat, came out, angushta, upper portion of the thumb. parimanakaha of the measurement. Translation: O sinless Vidura, all of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, a small form of a boar came out of his nostril, and the measurement of the creation was not more than the upper portion of a thumb. Text 19. Tasyaभिपश्यतः खस्तः क्षणेन किल भारत गजमात्रः प्रववृद्धे तद अद्भुतम् अभून्महत्. Synonyms: tasya, his, abhipashyatah, while thus observing, kastah, situated in the sky, kshanena, suddenly, kila, verily, bharata, o descendant of Bharata, gajamatraha, just like an elephant, pravavruddhe, thoroughly expanded, that, adbhutam, extraordinary, abhut, transformed, mahat, into a gigantic body. Translation: O descendant of Bharata, while Brahma was observing him, that boar became situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation as gigantic as a great elephant. Text 20. Marichi pramukhair vipraih kumarair manuna saham दृष्ट्वा तत् सौकरं रूपं तर्कयामास चिद्रधा. Synonyms: Marichi, the great sage Marichi, Pramukaihi, headed by Vipraihi, all Brahmanas, Kumaraihi, with the four Kumaras, Manuna, and with Manu, Saha, with Drishtva, seeing, Tat, that, Saukaram, appearance like a boar, Rupam, form, Tarkayamasa, argued among themselves, Chidradha, in various ways. Translation: Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma, with great Brahmanas like Marichi as well as the Kumaras and Manu, began to argue in various ways. Text 21. Kimetad sokara vyajam satvam divyam avastitham aho बताश्चर्य idam नासायामे विनिहृष्टम्. Synonyms: Kim, what, etad, this, sokara, boar, vyajam, pretension, sattvam, entity, divyam, extraordinary, avastitham, situated, aho bata, oh, it is, Ashcharyam, very wonderful, idam, this, nashayaha, from the nose, my, vinishrutam, came out. Translation: Is this some extraordinary entity come in the pretense of a boar? It is very wonderful that he has come from my nose. Text 22. Drishto Angushta Shiro Matraha Kshanad Ganda Shilashan Maha Apisvid Bhagavan Esha Yajno Me Khedayan Manaha. Synonyms: Drishtva, just seen, Angushtaha, thumb, Shirasaha, tip, Matraha, only, Kshanat, immediately, Gandashila, large stone, Samaha, like, Api, Swith, whether, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Eshaha, this, Yajnaha, Vishnu, my, Khedayan, perturbing, Manaha, mind. Translation: First of all, this boar was seen on bigger than the tip of a thumb, and within a moment he was as large as a stone. My mind is perturbed. Is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu? Purport. Since Brahma is the supermost person in the universe and he had never before experienced such a form, he could guess that the wonderful appearance of the boar was an incarnation of Vishnu. The uncommon features symptomatic of the incarnation of Godhead bewilder even the mind of Brahma. Text 23. Iti मीमांसतस् तस्य ब्रह्मणः सह सूनुभिः भगवान् यज्ञ पुरुषो जगर्जागेन्द्र सन्निभः. Synonyms. Iti, thus, मीमांसतः, while deliberating, tasya, his, brahmanah, of Brahma, saha, also with Sunubihi, his sons, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Yajna, Lord Vishnu, Purushaha, the supreme person, Jagarja, resounded, Agendra, great mountain, Sannibha, like. Translation. While Brahma was deliberating with his sons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu rode tumultuously like a great mountain. Purport. It appears that great hills and mountains also have their roaring power because they are also living entities. The volume of the sound vibrated is in proportion to the size of the material body. While Brahma was guessing about the appearance of the Lord's incarnation as a boar, the Lord confirmed Brahma's contemplation by roaring with his gorgeous voice.
Oh, this is really amazing. The
1
mount.
second, Prabhu.
They-
Right. Are you in the control of the screen? I'm unable to scroll up. I still scroll up. Okay. While Brahma was deliberating with his son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu rode tumultuously like a great mountain. Okay. Okay. So these mountains and hills are also the living entities as per this purport. Go to the purport. Yeah, it appears that great hills and mountains also have their roaring power because they are also living entities. So if you look at our Himalayas or other mountains, are they also living entities? Even though they are unmovable?
Yes, Prabhu. They live and move. They change a lot actually. And if one looks longer like timeline, he can see they're like moving. The path change and all things happen. And now I first time read from this purport now that like whenever there is some big movement in the mountain, there will be some big sound, some rocks falling and all these. They're like the roaring of the mountain, I think. Some huge boulder falls or something. It's like I've heard before, like when I was studying like the hugest waves of the whole earth that has happened. So there was one in Alaska that there's a huge mountain, there's a big boulder, and it fell completely, and there was like over 100-meter wave that it caused. And there must have been huge roaring sound when the thing fell. And they say they heard it from like 50 kilometers away, the thing falling, and how the everything was like shaking, and tumultuous sound. So now I understand it's the roaring of the mountain.
So, as per your understanding, if anything makes sound or noise, it has to be understood that there is some living entity inside it which makes that noise.
Yes, Prabhu, but in small rocks, I'm not sure if they are living.
But what about the ocean? What about the ocean? See, ocean also makes sound, a lot of noise when you go near to an ocean or a river.
Yes, Prabhu, I think ocean are also living entities. They have soul and deity.
Yeah, that is the impersonal personification of Varunadeva.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. But I am not sure whether there is any living entity, eternal soul inside that ocean or hill or mountain.
At least I know hills and mountains they are, but ocean I'm not sure. I'm not heard ever ocean is living entity, but I know hills and mountains are.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there is one pastime of Lord Rama when he asked the
I got
ocean
it.
for a
Yeah,
way, Indian Ocean. Yeah, so
I
that
got it.
is
In
one of
fact,
the
yeah.
example.
Yes. The same mountain um, provided some kind of obeisances to Lord Hanuman as well when he was traveling to Lanka.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because out of fear of Indra, because Indra was about to cut the wings of a mountain. I don't remember the name of the mountain. So uh, that mountain took shelter of this ocean, and since then he had been residing there until Lord Hanuman reached there.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this is actually interesting that he does with the lightning. With the lightning strikes, he cuts the tops of the hills and
Right,
mountains.
right. Yeah, with his Vajrayudha.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, let's move on. Text 24.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I continue next? Tanakram Jai
Sure,
Prabhupada.
no problem. Yeah.
Text 24. Brahmanam harshayamash haristvam chadvijottaman swagarjitena kakubha prati swanayata vibhu. Synonyms. Brahmanam, onto Brahma, harshayamsha, enlivened, Hari, the personality of Godhead, Tan, all of them, Cha, also, Dvija Uttaman, highly elevated Brahmanas, Swagarjitena, by his uncommon voice, Kakubha, all directions, Pratiswanayata, which echoed, Vibhu, the omnipotent. Translation. How can you scroll down? Oh. The omnipotent supreme personality of Godhead, thus enlivened Brahma and the other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead are enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnations. The appearance of the wonderful and gigantic incarnation of Vishnu as the mountain-like boar did not fill them with any kind of fear, although the Lord's resounding voice was tumultuous and echoed horribly in all directions as an open threat to all demons who might challenge his omnipotency. Text 25. निशम्यते घरितं स्वखेद क्षयिष्णुमाया मयशूकरस्य जनस्तपसत्यनिवासिनस्ते त्रिभिः पवित्रैर्मुनयो गृह्णन् स्म. Synonyms. Nishamya, just after hearing, they, those Ghargharitam, the tumultuous sound. Swakheda, personal lamentation. Shayishnu, destroying. Maya Maya, all merciful. Shukrasya, of Lord Bor. Jana, the Janaloka planet. Tapa, the Tapaloka planet. Satya, the Satyaloka planet. Nivashina, residents, they all of them. Tribhi, from the three Vedas. Pavitre, by all auspicious mantras. Munaya, great thinkers and sages. Agnasma chanted. Translation: when the great sages and thinkers who are residents of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Bohr, which is the all auspicious sound of the all merciful Lord, they chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. Purport: the word Maya Maya is very significant in this verse. Maya means mercy, specific knowledge, and also illusion. Therefore, Lord Bohr is everything. He is merciful, he is all knowledge, and he is illusion also. The sound which he vibrated as the Bohr incarnation was answered by the Vedic hymns of the great sages in the planets of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. The highest intellectual and pious living entities live in those planets. And when they heard the extraordinary voice of the Bohr, they could understand that the specific sound was vibrated by the Lord and no one else. Therefore, they replied by praying to the Lord with Vedic hymns. The earth planet was submerged in the mire, but on hearing the sound of the Lord, the inhabitants of the higher planets were all jubilant because they knew that the Lord was there to deliver the earth. Therefore, Brahma and all the sages, such as Bhrigu and Brahma's other sons and other learned Brahmanas, were enlivened, and they concertedly joined in the praising the Lord with the transcendental vibrations of the Vedic hymns. The most important is the Naradiya Purana verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. 26, text 26. Tesham satam veda vitana murte Brahma vadharyatma gunanuvadam vinadya bhuyo vibudhodayaya gajendra lelo jalamavishesha. Tesham, of them, Satam, of the great devotees, Veda, all knowledge, Vitanamurti, the form of expansion, Brahma, Vedic sound, Avadharya, knowing it well, Atma, of himself, Gunanuadam, transcendental glorification, Vinadya, resounding, Bhuya, again, Vibhuda, of the transcendentally learned, Udayaya, for the elevation or benefit, Gajendra Lila, praying like an elephant, Jalam, the water, Avishesha, entered. Translation: praying like an elephant, he entered. Can you go up a little bit? Krishna Prabhu, can you go? Yeah. Praying like an elephant, he entered into the water again. Sorry. Praying like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of the Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. Purport: the form of the Lord in any shape is always transcendental and full of knowledge and mercy. The Lord is the destroyer of all material contamination because his form is personified Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas worship the transcendental form of the Lord. In the Vedic mantras, the devotees request the Lord to remove the glaring effulgence because it covers his real face. That is the version of the Ishopanishad. The Lord has no material form, but his form is always understood in terms of the Vedas. The Vedas are said to be the breath of the Lord, and that breath was inhaled by Brahma, the original student of the Vedas. The breathing from the nostril of Brahma caused the appearance of Lord Bohr, and therefore the Bohr incarnation of the Lord is the personified Vedas. The glorification of the incarnation by the sages on the higher planets consisted of factual Vedic hymns. Whenever there is glorification of the Lord, it is to be understood that Vedic mantras are being rightly vibrated. The Lord was Therefore, pleased when such Vedic mantras were chanted and to encourage his pure devotees, he rowed once more and entered the water to rescue the submerged earth. Text 27. Utchiptavala khachara kathora sata vidhunvan kararomashatvak kurahata bra shitadam shriksha jyotir babhashe bhagavan mahindra. Utshiptavala, slashing with the tail. Khacharaha, in the sky. Kathora, very hard. Sata, hairs on the shoulders. Vidhunvan, quivering. Khara, sharp. Romashatvak, skin full of hairs. Kura ahata, struck by the hooves. Abhra, the clouds. Shitadamshra, white tusks. Iksha, glance. Jyoti, luminous. Babhashe, began to emit an effulgence. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Mahindra, the supporter of the world. Translation. Before entering the water to rescue the earth, Lord Boar flew in the sky, slashing his tail, his hard hairs quivering. His very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hoofs and his glittering white tusks. Jai. Purport. When the Lord is offered prayers by his devotees, his transcendental activities are described. Here are some of the transcendental features of Lord Boar. As the residents of the upper three planetary systems offered their prayers to the Lord, it is understood that his body expanded throughout the sky, beginning from the topmost planet Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita that his eyes are the sun and the moon. Therefore, his very glare over the sky was as illuminating as the sun or the moon. The Lord is described herein as Mahindra, which means either a big mountain or the sustainer of the earth. In other words, the Lord's body was as big and hard as the Himalayan mountains. Otherwise, how it was possible that he kept the entire earth on the support of his white tusks? The poet Jayadev, a great devotee of the Lord, has sung of the incident in his prayer for the incarnation. Vashati dashana shikhare dharani tava lagna shashani kalanka kaleva nimagna keshavadhrita shukara rupa jaya jagadisha Hare. All glories to Lord Keshava, Krishna, who appeared as the boar. The earth was held between his tusks, which appeared like the scars on the moon. Text 28. घ्राणेन पृथ्व्या पदवीं विजिघ्रन् क्रोधापदेश स्वयम् अध्वराङ्ग्र करारदंष्ट्रोप्य करारदृग्भ्याम् उद्वीक्ष्य विप्रान् घ्नतो विशत्कम्. घ्राणेन, by smelling, prithvya, of the earth, padvim, situation, vijigran, searching after the earth, krodha, apadesha, assuming the body of a hog, swayam, personally, adhvara, transcendental, agna, anga, body, karala, fearful, brahmshra, teeth, tusks, api, in spite of, akarala, not fearful, drigbhyam, by his glance, udviksha, glancing over Vipran, all the Brahmana devotees, Grinta, who were engaged in prayers, Avishat, entered, come, the water. Translation. He was personally the Supreme Lord Vishnu and was therefore transcendental. Yet because he had the body of a hog, he searched after the earth by smell. His tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotee Brahmanas engaged in offering prayers. Thus he entered the water. Purport. We should always remember that although the body of a hog is material, the hog form of the Lord was not materially contaminated. It is not possible for an earthly hog to assume a gigantic form spreading throughout the sky, beginning from the Satyaloka. His body is always transcendental in all circumstances. Therefore, the assumption of the form of a boar is only his pastime. His body is all Vedas or transcendental, but since he assumed the form of a boar, he began to search out the earth by smelling just like a hog. The Lord can perfectly play the part of any living entity. The gigantic feature of the boar was certainly very fearful for all non-devotees, but to the pure devotees of the Lord, he was not at all fearful. On the contrary, he was so pleasingly glancing upon his devotees that all of them felt transcendental happiness. Text 29. Savajrakutanganipatavega Vishirna Kukshir Sthanayan Udanvan Uchishta Drigrom Bhujer Ivartaras Shukrosha Yagneshwara Pahimeti. Synonyms: Sa, that Vajrakuta Anga, body like a great mountain. Nipatavega, the force of diving. Vishirna, bifurcating. Kukshi, the middle portion. Stanayan, resounding like. Udvan, the ocean. Utsrishta, creating. Dirgha, high. Urmi, waves. Bhujay, by the arms. Eva, Artha, like a distressed person. Chukrosha, prayed loudly, Yagna Ishvara, O Master of all sacrifices, Pahi, please protect Ma onto me, iti. Thus, translation. Diving into the water like a giant mountain, Lord Boar divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly as if praying to the Lord, O Lord of all sacrifices, please do not cut me in two. Kindly give me protection. Purport. Even the great ocean was perturbed by the falling of the mountain-like body of the transcendental boar, and it appeared to be frightened as if death were imminent.
So here
So here the ocean, so here the ocean seems to be the personality having a living form. Text 13. Kurer Shuraper Darayam Stadapa Utparaparam Triparurasayam Dadarshagam Tatra Susupsuragre Yamjevadhanim Swayam Abhyadatta. Synonyms: Kurer, by the hoofs. Shuraper, compared to a sharp weapon. Darayan, penetrating. Tat, that. Apa, water. Utpara param, found the limitation of the unlimited. Triparu, the master of all sacrifices. Rasayam, within the water. Dadarsha, found. Gam, the earth. Tatra, there. Sushupshu, lying. Agre, in the beginning. Yam, whom. Jivadhanim, the resting place of all living entities. Swayam, personally. Abhyadatta, uplifted. Translation. Lord Boar penetrated the water with his hooves, which were like sharpened arrows, and he found out the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. He saw the earth, the resting place of all living beings, lying as it was in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it. Purport. The word Rasayam is sometimes interpreted to mean Rasatala, the lowest planetary system, but that is not applicable in this connection. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Earth is 7 times superior to the other planetary systems, namely Tala, Atala, Talatala, Vitala, Rasatala, Patala, etc. So these are 7 lower planetary systems. Therefore, the Earth cannot be situated in the Rasatala planetary system. It is described in the Vishnu Dharma, Patalamureshwara Bhoga Samhato Vinyasya Pado Prithvim Cha Bhibrata Yasyopamano Nabhabhuvachachutyo Mamastu Galya Vivriddhaye Hari. Therefore, the Lord found the earth on the bottom of the Garbodaksha ocean, where the planets rest during the devastation at the end of Brahma's stay. Text 31. Swadamstrayodhritya mahim nimagnam sa uttita samrucherashaya tatrapi daityam gadaya patantam sunabhasandipta tivramanyu. Synonyms: Swadamstrya, by his own tusks; Udhritya, raising; Mahim, the earth; Nimagnam, submerged; Sa, he; Utthita, getting up; Samruruche, appeared very splendid; Rasaya, from the water; Tatra, there; Api, also; Daityam, onto the demon; Gadaya, with the curb; Apatantam, rusting towards him; Sunabha, the wheel of Krishna; Sandipita, glowing; Tivra, fierce; Manu, anger. Translation: Lord Boar very easily took the earth on his tusk and got it out of the water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then his anger, glowing like the Sudarshan wheel, immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. In some of the lectures or somewhere I heard that the fight between the Lord Varaha and the Hiranyaksha, it went on to many kalpas. For a long time, the fight went.
Yes, in fact, I was about to ask the same question. In fact, it has been described here in this canto that there isn't much happened between Lord Varaha and Hiranyaksha. It was so simple. It was described so simply here.
I think it's described in, isn't it described in further cantos?
Yes, maybe Parikshit Maharaj maybe raises some more questions to describe that incident in detail. Then actual description will come into place, maybe.
Prabhu, there will be really like all the descriptions like Dheeraj Prabhu said. I remember reading this also.
Okay.
Yep. Let's continue. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Vedic literatures describe the incarnation of Lord Varaha, boar, in two different devastations, namely the Chakshusha devastation and the Swayambhuva devastation. This particular appearance of the boar incarnation actually took place in the Swayambhuva devastation, when all planets other than the higher ones, Jana, Mahar, and Satya, merged in the water of devastation. This particular incarnation of the Lord Boar was seen by the inhabitants of the planets mentioned above. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur suggests that the sage Maitreya amalgamated both the boar incarnations in different devastations and summarized them in his description to Vidura. So it seems there are multiple incarnations of Lord Boar, and Maitreya Rishi, he explained in short
Yes, Prabhu.
all the incidents to Vidura. Yeah. Summarize them, his description to Vidura. So he did not elaborated everything. Yeah.
In fact, we cannot call it as summarize of the incident. In fact, it only one was talked about the fight between Varaha and Hiranyaksha. There isn't
Yes.
much described here.
Yes, true.
Maybe going forward, when Parikshit Maharaj raises some questions to Sukadeva Goswami, then the actual detailed description will come up.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Text 32. Jaghanarundhanam ashaya vikramam salilayebhyam mrigarat ivambashi tadraktapankang kitagandhatundo yatha gajendro jagatim vibhindan. Synonyms: Jaghana, killed; Rundhanam, the obstructive enemy; Ashaya, unbearable. Vikramam prores sa he Leelaya easily Ibham the elephant Mirgrat the lion evil like Ambasi in the water Tatraksha of his blood Panka Ankita smeared by the pool Gandha cheeks Tunda tongue Yatha as if Gajendra the elephant Jagatim earth Vibhindan digging. Translation. Thereupon Lord Boar killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth. Text 33. Tamala-nilam Chitadanta-kotya Shaman Ukshipantam Gajalilayanga Prajnaya-baddhan Jalayo-nuvaker Virinchi-mukhya Upatakshuriksham. Synonyms. Tamala, a blue tree named the Tamala. Neelam, bluish. Shita, white. Tanta, taksh. Kotya, white with the curved edge. Kshamam, the earth. Ukshipantam, while suspending. Gajalilaya, praying like an elephant. Anga, O Vidura. Pragnaya, after knowing it well. Baddha, folded. Anjalaya, hands. Anuvakai, by Vedic hymns. Virinchi, Brahma. Mukhya, headed by Upatashtu, offered prayers Isham unto the Lord. Translation. Then the Lord playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. He assumed a bluish complexion like that of a tamala tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Text 34. Rasaya Ochu. Jitam jitam te jitayagnya bhavna trayim tanum swam paridhunvate nama yadromagarteshu ninilyur adhyayas tasmai nama karanasukarayate. Synonyms. Rasaya Ucho. The glorified sages uttered, Jitam, all glories, Jitam, all victories, te unto you. Ajit, O unconquerable one. Yajna Bhavana, one who is understood by performances of sacrifice. Trayim, personified Vedas. Tanum, such a body. Swam, own. Paridhunvante, shaking Nama, all obeisances. Yat, whose Roma hairs. Garteshu, in the holes. Nilihu, submerged. Adhaya, the oceans. Tasmai, unto him. Nama, offering obeisances. Karana Shukaraya, unto the hog form, assumed for reasons. They unto you. Translation. All the sages uttered with great respect, O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices, all glories and all victories unto you. You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas, and in the hair holes of your body the oceans are submerged. For certain reasons, to uplift the earth, you have now assumed the form of a boar. Purport. Lord can assume any form he likes, and in all circumstances, he is the cause of all causes. Since his form is transcendental, he is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he is in the causal ocean in the form of Mahavishnu. Innumerable universes generate from the holes of his bodily hairs, and thus his transcendental body is the Vedas personified. He is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and he is the unconquerable Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is never to be misunderstood to be other than the Supreme. Can you go down, Prabhu? He is never to be understood other than the Supreme Lord because of his assuming the form of a boar in order to lift the earth. That is the clear understanding of sages and great personalities like Brahma and other residents of the higher planetary systems.
Oh, it continues. Okay,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
50 verses are there total.
I think we cannot finish it today because it's 9 p.m. already.
Yeah.
So what is in the comments? Yes, Prabhu. So it's chapter 19 where the description will be. 319. This whole chapter is about killing of the demon Hiranyaksha.
Okay. Okay. It goes on. Okay. It's not the end of that action. Okay. Incident. Okay. So the entire story would be elaborated in the upcoming chapters.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, because see, after hearing the words of Brahma, the creator, because see, then Lord Brahma prays to Hiranyaksha, I think. Then it's explained that just we read, and then the Lord heartily laughed and accepted his prayers with glance laden with love. And then Maitreya explains what happens in detail.
Exactly. In fact, I knew that. See the action. I mean, the fight between Lord Varaha, and Hiranyaksha took so many years, and Lord Varaha was in fact playing with Hiranyaksha. So ultimately, Brahma and other demigods prayed to the Lord to stop that playing activity and kill him immediately.
Yes, Prabhu.
Until those prayers, he was just playing. He was not trying to kill at all.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, we will read about this soon. Okay, now Shikshastakam prayers. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशीं ह्यजनिनानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूळि सदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारय वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमीषेण चक्षुषा प्रविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy name, by but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hair on my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh Govinda, feeling your separation. Come down, Prabhu. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. श्री शिक्षाष्टम की जय। चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय।
Baujanma Koreyadi Shavana Kirtan, Taputana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting.
The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and considering him as an ordinary person.
To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in persons to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Tenth offense is not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhegavacha pattanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
And the Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhu Tandat Param Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Prabhu. Very nice to see you here. So thank you so much, Prabhus. It was a really nice reading session about Lord Varahadev. Lord Varahadev ki jai. Tomorrow we continue.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow is Q&A also, hopefully. So everyone who can join, please join. Jai Shri